keep looking. If you hear something new, at least have the curiosity to know what it is before ignoring it. Have the curiosity to know what are they talking about. Is it actually worth my attention or not? Because you never know. You hear something suddenly, it's something your interest. I mean, even for me, whatever I have done now, started off like suna, or I read it down somewhere on a piece of paper. I just looked into it and then realized, oh, this is interesting. Let me work into it. And the second thing that I'll tell them most is a lot of people work in different paces. There are some people who will know from their first year and they will keep working over that. Some people who will start in third year, but they will still get there. So not everyone has the same path. So comparing yourself to someone else, there's a difference between comparing with someone else and collaborating with someone else.
Welcome back to the another episode of Anubhav Video Interview Series, a concept started by ARPIT Kumar Mishra sir, class of 2021. It was his initiative to create such a series to help the juniors and is working his heart out to make it a reality. And on today's episode, we have a very talented guest, Ellen John sir. All right, so before jumping into the questions, let me introduce him. Ellen John sir is from the class of 2021. He's a full stack developer who's enthusiastic about DevOps and data science. He has experience working with AWS on a developer associate level and has worked on multiple computer vision problems. You can go and quickly check his GitHub profile. You'll be amazed to see the amount of contributions and project he has done in the recent past, and that too very consistently. He's also experienced with other technologies like data structures, algorithm and object-oriented programming, database management system, web and Android application development, machine learning, natural language, you name the technology, and he has mastered it. He's a former DevOps intern at Intern Technologies and data science intern at Solistic Partners. There has also taken part in multiple debates at college level and has a deep interest in graphic designing and illustration. He was also the BCJ head of the computer department. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. It's great to see you. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. Pleasure being here.
Right, amazing. So let's get started then. We'll start with the first question, very basic one. Sir, how was your college experience?
I mean, if I had to summarize in one word, I would say colorful, because a lot happens in a very short time and 4 years just goes like that. But yeah, I mean, the amount of friends you made, the people you've interacted with are the people, you remember, that's the part of college you remember, you love the most, the people, the seniors, the juniors, the batchmates, the amount of opportunities you get, the things you learn about yourself. So I'm going to for sure.
Amazing, yeah. So, talking about your development profile, it's super amazing, to be very honest. So, how did you get started with it?
Initially, out of 11th, in 11th, 12th, I had Java as one of my subjects. So started with that. But once I got to college, I got to meet people and we were working on different stuff. So I think the biggest starting point to expanding my profile was when one of my roommate's brothers gave us a list. He was a alumni of our college only. He gave us a list of topics, that these are topics which are hot right now. Okay. So at least we put that list on the room wall. This is the list of topics to cover, and that is how it started. So that is how I got included into what are possible. Till then, my entire thing, we only have web development, HTML, CSS, you got Java, you got languages. But I saw that list, and that's when I realized, damn, there is a lot to. I mean, it's a huge. So that is how it started. So one by one, topics came, projects came, and step by step, you just let it take you wherever it has to.
Right. Absolutely, yes, sir. So, you keep on exploring new tech domains, tech domains and all. So, what nudges you to keep learning new things? Some source of motivation or something?
I mean, source of motivation is that the things that I learned in my first year are now irrelevant. Technology grows very fast, and when you see something new, when you see something you don't know, there's inquisitiveness, if anything else, to know that. And plus, no one is going. No, not every company, not every project has the same tech stack. So you have to, in the end, the demands. One is your own curiosity to learn something new, and the second is the demand of what you're working on. Tomorrow you're working on something that requires you to learn something new. You have to learn it. So these two things really push you to learn new stuff.
Amazing. It kept you going, I must say. Yeah. So I coming to the non-technical aspects, you are very amazing at the communication skills as well, and a lot of viewers may find it difficult at times when we talk about effective communication, right? So what can you suggest to them, and how can they start with the soft skills in a preparation and all?
I think one of the first things, soft skills, that people focus on the most is language. how fluent you are with your English and all, but I have seen from my own experiences that the most important fact in terms of soft skills is getting a point across and looking confident while doing that. Because language is second. Not everyone out there, I mean, even though it is an English centric industry and all that, there are people who speak in other languages as well. When you go talk to other developers, as a developer, you don't have all your meetings in formal English, So
True.
the main is to get that point across. Ki this is what I'm talking about. This is the idea I have. This is the solution I have. And looking confident. And when you're talking, the other person knows this guy knows what he's talking about. So those are the two things that we have to focus on: knowing how to get a point across, and about improving. Obviously, you have to be able to be fluent to get a point across properly. You can't stutter, because that just shows lack of confidence.
True.
Be improved by speaking more and more. You
Mhm.
know, way you have to get out. You have to talk to people. So don't hold yourself back. There are a lot of people
Right.
who don't practice their English, because see, I didn't learn English going through some fancy course or something. We all learn it, but any language we learn it by talking to someone else. That
True.
is why
True. Yeah.
because घर पे वही बोलते हैं. So a lot of people don't practice different languages because they feel कि I'm not good at this, so लोग बोलेंगे and all that. I mean, if you're not good at it, people will say. But it is to accept that feedback. Yes, someone has given me feedback that I'm stuttering, I'm not confident, I'm not clear. So you improve on that, and you keep, as a habit, keep speaking, keep talking as much as you can. Don't hold back yourself. And over time, you get comfortable with yourself, confident that, I know what I'm talking about. I have reasons. So yeah.
Right. Right. Beautiful points there. It's important to be in an uncomfortable zone, I must say. You know. Right. Right. So, like talking about the internship, you interned at Solistic Partners, and it would be great if you could share the experience and takeaways from that.
Yeah, so my first internship was in Intugene, which was where I
Mhm.
got to my. So before that, I was looking into cloud and all, like generally AWS, how it's used and all that. But once I went there, I got to know on a production level how to use these stuff,
Mhm.
and that is where they actually got me involved into DevOps, and that is where it started for me. So both internships, I think the key point is that they give you the opportunity like to learn, and if work culture is very good, like for me, luckily both places the work culture was pretty good. They give you the opportunity, they give you the space that you can mess up. Don't worry, you have the freedom to
Right.
make. They don't expect you to be the perfectionist, because at both, I mean, especially at Intugene, I did have some big, one of those the intern has ruined the entire code kind of moments. They all laughed it off and they said, "Don't worry, it's okay. We will get around this," and it helps you like that. So in college level, when you work with it, you're working with a very limited tech stack. I mean, in college level, you work with maybe one website, one server, one machine learning model, and that's it. But when you go to a real world scenario, you've got a lot of different technologies, from proxies to security managers, all these things which you do not work at a school or as an individual level.
True. True. Yeah.
So those things are so. During my time at Intugene, I was purely DevOps. So I was working with CI/CD pipelines, which is where it started for different kind of applications. And during my time at Solitex, I started as an analyst working at NLP models, and later on they needed someone in DevOps as well. So I did give help there as well.
Right. Amazing. So, sir, you have an amazing experience with a lot of tech, technology. So it's if a junior wants to start, say if I want to start something new tomorrow, let's say DevOps. So, what would you suggest, and how can I start with it?
So obviously, starting point for everyone, including me, is the Google question: how to
Right.
start DevOps, how to start machine learning, and all that. So I think the first thing you need to know is have an idea of a roadmap. Ki what topics do you need to cover? What prerequisites? So it shouldn't be ki you just learning something, but you only know one trick in that domain.
Mhm.
You're calling it data scientist, but you can only do one. I only know one trick. Ki itna hi aata hai. So that doesn't work. To understand completely, you need to know the prerequisites and how to build yourself in that profile. So you find a lot of blogs, forums talking about a roadmap, and you should talk to seniors, talk to your batchmates who maybe have worked in that field. So not to learn from them. You can also learn from them, but the main point to start with is to build a roadmap. Once you have the roadmap ready, this is the roadmap. So if you're talking about DevOps, some of the starting points, some of the keywords you'll come across would be CI/CD, and then you come across Docker, then you come across cloud native technologies. So these are step by step you go. So once you have your roadmap ready, what terms and terminologies that you need to learn, then you start referring to documentation, project documentation, because especially in DevOps as a field, documentation from cloud infrastructure to your normal open source tools is very important. You need to know what you're using. So my whatever I have learned is like that. I've started a roadmap and gone through a lot of documentation and built one by one, step by step, build that profile accordingly. And then once you have came to a stable level, now you're understanding what is happening in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Start interacting with people in that field, not only in your college, but like for DevOps, there are a lot of conventions. So you've got the KubeCon for Kubernetes, CNCF has the Cloud Native convention. Then for DevOps, there's something called DevSecCon, which I very recently attended. So and plus now it's all online, so you can actually sit at home and watch all these things. So there you get professionals who are in your field. You're aspiring to be in that field. They're already there, and they talk about what they are working with and how they get there. So that way it even opens you up to even more topics that you never even heard of.
Right, right.
And all that. So, and then obviously opens those projects and all that. So once you get, so the steps again to, to revise is, first of all, build the roadmap, get comfortable with the terminology, and then start exploring on what all possibilities are there, what all people are working on, what's coming new, and keep yourself updated on that, because this is important.
Right, right. So see, like all the boxes are ticked, when we talk about your profile, development, studies, extracurricular activities, you have done everything. So I like it's a personal question. How did you manage your time? With a lot of things were there, and you have been part of so many things. So yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have done more of a workload management more than a time management, because one of the key aspects has to be the people around you. One person cannot do everything else. When it came to studies, the classes that I bunked for different stuff, so my group would come and tell me ki this is a topic, and they would explain me. When I go for co-curriculum debates, you're sitting with someone. So I think one of the biggest factors in a good, being able to manage time properly is collaboration. Knowing, because there always be someone who is doing the same thing as you, looking for the same fact as you. So being able to work with those people, because alone it is a lot of work. You'll always be under pressure, especially because the reason why it gets less stress, you're able to manage time better as you go through college years, is because when you start as a first year, you're doing everything alone because you just came out of a common environment. But by the time you get to your fourth year, even for every test, you're all looking to all your friends are together before call, you're all discussing, and it makes it easier. So that is the first thing. I mean, even now for the juniors right now, I know it's all online, they're not even attended college, but I mean, you can look at it like that, but then obviously it's the fact that you're all online, you're connected to each other. So you take advantage of that. So that is important time management, knowing that there are people in the same space and talking to them. कि ये करना था हो गया, अब ये भी करना है, ठीक है, you do this, I'll do that. So that is a very important factor in time management. Second of all is having a deadline, having a kind of deadline kind of thing. कि by this month I need to finish this कैसे भी. And then you have to push yourself. This is the deadline. I have to meet this deadline. If you extend your deadline once, you will extend it again. I mean, that's knows that एक बार extend होगा, unless you have some insane emergency जिसके कारण you have to extend it, you will. Once you extend it once, then procrastination kicks in.
True.
Then do series and all that आराम से. Because even I have watched series and I have had fun. I've had a lot of fun. But ये है कि when you have to work right, you just can't let yourself. You need to know कि इतना deadline है, खत्म करना. If you do it beforehand, you got free time. If you don't, then you just have to lose some sleep, make some coffee.
Right, right. Right. So create a sense of urgency for yourself. Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it leads me to the next and the final question, sir. Any piece of advice for the juniors or who are about to start their college or maybe are in the second or third year?
Yeah. I mean, to those who are just starting, you just come out of school to college, and the first thing you should know is the possibilities are endless. Whatever you know, this is the generally people come into college thinking there's a single career path. This karke you get there, but it's not that. It's a web. It's more than a web. I mean, way more
True.
complex. The amount of destinations, the amount of routes to a particular destination, it's insane. So don't hold yourself back to what our seniors used to tell us when we joined. Ki don't stay in the room. It's the same thing again. Just rhetorically, just explore it. Don't hold yourself. If you see, especially when you're in your first year, second year, right? Keep looking. If you hear something new, at least have the curiosity to know what it is before ignoring ki ye chalne de, jaane de. Have the curiosity to know ki what are they talking about? Is it actually worth my attention or not? Because you never know. You hear something and suddenly it's something your interest. I mean, even for me, whatever I have done till now started off कि कहीं किसी ने कुछ सुना or I read a term somewhere on a piece of paper. I just looked into it and then I realized, oh, this is interesting. Let me work into it. And the second thing that I'll tell them most is a lot of people work in different paces. There are some people who will know from their first year kya karna hai, and they will keep working towards that. There are some people who will start in third year, but they will still get there. So not everyone has the same path. So comparing yourself to someone else, there's a difference between comparing with someone else and collaborating with someone else. Because even for me, I came to ARPIT, I used to go to Amitav, I used to go to my roommate, my friends, Yatharth, and I used to go to everyone, and everyone has a different profile, everyone knows different stuff. No one knows everything. And because that knowledge, he tells you, dude, I'm working on this is really cool shit. And then like that you build. So you can't do it alone. Your seniors, your juniors, seniors make contacts, you later help in getting jobs or getting courses and something like that. And your juniors also sometimes, they encourage you a lot because there are people who look up to you, so you don't want to, it gives you a boost. I need to do this. So interaction and having the belief in yourself, this is there, I can do this. And I mean, this is the 4 years. These 4 years, you've got nothing holding you back. The only thing holding you back these 4 years is yourself. Once you get ahead of this, you've got jobs, forget before this, you had, school and fam. But once you're in these 4 years of college, right? Nothing. There's nothing holding you back. You explore whatever you want. That's pretty much it.
Right.
Across.
Beautiful point, sir. Amazing. All right. So thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it for opening up and giving such good advices. I'm sure it will be very helpful for our viewers. And on behalf of the entire Anubhav team, I wish you good luck and thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man. That was amazing.
Yeah. Right. So, all right, then that's all for today. Stay tuned for more such insightful sessions and head towards our website, anubhav.ait.club. Go and watch all the previous episodes if you haven't already. And we promise we'll keep coming up with such talks in future. But till then, take amazing care of yourself, stay safe, and bye-bye.